Hey everybody. So the timing on this was really good. I just jumped in. Well, I was jumping in, kind of setting things up so that we could start in a similar pace. Right before the stream start, the power stopped, so I'm going to see if I have any more power that can go feed into this. But today, that's not going to be as important. I have a few things kind of on the list. First thing I was going to talk about, well, first thing after I get this power started again. I'm going to kind of show how you do upgrades in this game because there's 4 different ways. Really 3, but they're kind of 4. Okay, we got 4 of those, so that'll be good. There's 4 different ways to do upgrades in this game, so I was just going to go through those. And, oh yeah, we're out of power everywhere, aren't we? Then I unlocked coal, ground up and unlocked coal. Wow, we are really out of a bunch of stuff. And at that point, we are going to go over and build the coal base. And once we do that, I'm going to delete all of this. So again, running the power isn't hugely important today. And then start building the base up there, just kind of show you what that looks like. Gonna run a little bit longer on this stream, so buckle in. We'll see how that goes. Do I have power on this? I do not. Hang on. Since none of this is running anyway. New thing that you can do in this, if you hit H, you just automatically go to that. That didn't used to be an option. So let's put this here. Right click on it, splits it exactly in half, so there's 100 in there. Now I've got 100 to fuel my chainsaw. Alright, let's go cut down some trees. We don't need a whole lot. Just need enough to get things fired up and started. I might clear a little bit down here. Yeah, kind of try to do this as like I was saying in the last stream, a little bit more like a botanical person rather than a logger who's just, woo, big. I know, I see you. Oh, this is bad. Nope, stay away, come on, Unreal Engine, do this for me! It's not gonna do it. Okay, we're gonna run. You just stand there. He's coming after me, I can hear his little piggy paws. There. You guys can't corner very well. Didn't really want to clear that, but you know something that's better than being killed by a pig. You guys just happily snort down there, that's fine. Kind of leave that one. This one looks scraggly. I'm actually doing the forest a favor. That's how I justify it in my head. Come out here with a broom and start sweeping. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. No. Leave me alone. Nothing to see here. Go do your pig thing. Okay. Here. I don't want to cut this one because it'll take out both trees. These two should be far... Well, maybe not. I think if I grab this one, that'll be far enough from the other ones. Yeah. Because then I get all the wood down next to it. Okay. There, got that. That. And... Could be. This can be seen anywhere on the map, so... Generally, if you ever get lost, get a little bit turned around, if you just look for the space elevator, you'll be able to tell where your base is. So now we can do this. So, I kind of want to feed it into it. So this one is wood. We drop that in there. We can actually get a whole bunch of wood off that too. That's kind of why I don't really like using the chainsaw. It's not totally worth it for what you get out of it. And we'll put the biomass there because eventually it'll build up. We've got that brick. Let's go dump that brick in here. It won't. Here's if it'll actually. Okay, yeah. So while this is off, it's not burning the biofuel, which is what I want. Okay. So while we're waiting for that to build up on. Oh, we can't because. Okay, hang on. So this is one of the reasons why I set this up this way. I'm going to delete that so that power is only going to these guys because I need the power to make the biofuel. So these guys will all kick on. Let me make sure nothing else is kicking on. That's a big power set. Okay, yeah. So that should be good for right now. We'll get enough power going, but I'll show you the different ways that you can upgrade. So the first way you've already seen, where you come in here and you can select these different tiers, and then selecting the tier and unlocking it, you can unlock the tractor, the truck station, and more inventory slots, which is kind of nice. And same thing. So I mean, you can just sort of upgrade what your factory can do, what you can mine, what you can build, and that's new. I think that just unlocks things in the awesome sink, which I will show you in just a couple seconds. So on this, you can see that we used to just have tier 0, tier 1, tier 2, but when I did the unlock on the space elevator, it unlocked tier 3 and 4. And if I go over here, you can see space elevator phase 2. So if you go up to the space elevator and you feed super special commodities into it, then you can unlock the next 2 tiers, and then you can unlock everything under those 2 tiers. So that's the basic way to unlock things in this game, is that way. And if you go that route, you don't really have to do any of the others. The other 2 options are really, they make your life a lot easier, and you will want to go that route, but they're not 100% necessary. Like, you can play the game. So this is the MAM, the MAM, which basically you feed stuff into. So you can see I've got 3 things over here that I need to research. And so we got Caterium, which I did. Oh, I'll bet I put it in storage for now so that I wouldn't accidentally use it. Yeah, so here's Caterium right here, which I got while I was out picking up, I think grass or leaves or something. I ran across a Caterium node. I went, this would be cool. So when you come up to Caterium, you can sort of see that this is the whole thing that can be unlocked with different kinds of Caterium and items that you can build from Caterium. But first, you have to unlock them. So you can see that there's little unlocks there. They're saying you have to do this one first, then you can do this one. So it's just a standard tree thing. So this one we need 10 Caterium. We've got 20. So I'm going to start the research. It's going to take 3 seconds. Some of the more complicated ones take a lot longer. So we're going to do this. This won't take very long. Obviously, it'll take 3 seconds. Now we've unlocked all
new resource added to the resource scanner.
And
new
so
research available in the MAM.
On this one, we can go back, we can grab more Caterium, and now we can make Caterium ingots. And then from Caterium ingots, just like copper, where you have copper ingots and copper wire and all that sort of thing, Caterium kind of follows a similar path where you can make this quick wire. And quick wire is super useful, so we're definitely going to be doing that once we get coal power. But that's the other way that you can unlock things, is in here, and that makes things a little bit easier. And the final way, I need screws, which thankfully I think we should have. How many screws do we need? 200. Ooh, we might not be able to grab 200 screws on this. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to take forever. Well, we got 25 there. We got 500 there. Okay, so we're good. So let's grab that. Just because I want to show you guys this. And pretty soon it won't matter because we'll be able to build it out in the wild. So the good thing about this is that it's unpowered. You don't have to plug it into anything. It doesn't use any power. But you can come up here, and if you have fix-it coupons, which we'll get there in a bit, you can pay coupons to unlock different things. So I mean, you can unlock parts. So if you're like, oh damn, I need 200 wire or something like that, you can just go to the Awesome Shop and purchase it. That's not real efficient. It's better to make it yourself. Same thing with equipment, although I usually unlock the coffee cup as like the first thing. When I'm playing with Sinister Puppy, I'll sort of snarkily drink coffee at him occasionally. Customizer, this is where things get cool. So if you've ever watched other Satisfactory videos and people have these incredible buildings with like shiny floors and all of that, that's all of this. And there's unlocks that don't show on this yet because you have to unlock things over here before you can do it, or in the MAM before you can do it. And these don't show up until then. So, I mean, you got different kinds of foundations that'll allow you to make cooler buildings. Excuse me for a second. Let's see. Architecture, a lot of these are really useful. Attachments are hugely useful. I'm going to be unlocking these, the wall power outlets, before I start building that monstrosity. Just because of the way that I like to run the wires. But you don't have to have those. It just makes your life way easier. So, a couple things I need to do before we get rolling. I need rods. Oh no, I got enough rods. I got enough concrete. Do need cable. This will be for our little excursion out to build this, to build the coal generators. So down here. Oh, and you can see how I had that one cable. The whole reason that I built it on that circuit. Eventually what I'll have, and I think the switch is actually unlocked in the MAM. It might be through the Caterium node, but I'll have a switch here, and as opposed to having to delete one line, I'll just have a switch at the beginning of the factory that I can pull that and shut down the entire factory. And I might have miniature switches, or they're the same size, but I might have it spread throughout the factory to shut down specific lines, because there's kind of this level. When we're at coal, we can stay here until about tier usually 5 or 6. You start pushing it for what coal can do for you. You're using so much coal that it's easier to move up to oil, which is the next tier of power. And then you have a whole bunch of power for the next 2 tiers, and then you get to the next tier and you're building something like manufacturers that have 4 inputs, and you use up all that power really quickly and you have to go up to nuclear. And so, I mean, that's kind of how it does this sort of logarithmic, I think it's a logarithmic scale, and then you just keep going at that route. So it just constantly keeps you moving. Very clever program. There we go. Now we got enough power to keep this thing running while we're off doing our thing. Because what we want to do is fire up the coal generator, and in order to do that, it's basically going to be that we're going to be feeding power into the coal generator to get that whole thing started, and then once it starts getting up and running, it'll feed power back into this system. So for right now, since we don't need anything over here, I am going to leave this off, so the only thing we have coming in is power. I am going to grab more plates, because we're going to need a lot of those in order to do this. In fact, I might need more than that. We'll see. But anyway, so we're going to come down here. I'll show you this way. So you can sort of see I have this line coming out here. And I like to sort of hide them in the walls a little bit or right next to trees. Still trying to decide if I want to run this line differently because there are other there's other nodes out here like that crystal node that I could do. That would be a little bit it'd be easier to run a line to that and then run from that line to this coal line. But for right now, this will kind of make your point, so, or make my point. So you can sort of see that I run it over here. You can kind of notice that I'm hugging the wall because there's pigs out here and they will definitely get frustrated with me, and I don't want them attacking me while I'm doing this. Big jelly bean. Come over here, lizard doggo. They make scary noises, but they're friendly, and you can bounce off the top of them. So there is a spitter down here, which I call hyper cows, which is not what their name is. See them right there. It's a little one, which hopefully he doesn't see me. We're supposed to be able to sneak. So we're going to put this. You can sort of see that I've kind of pre-gamed a little bit of this. We're going to put it this way. So there's our miner. And then we're going to do logistics and a conveyor belt. Right there. And so this is a pure iron node, which just like copper and iron and all that, means that it's going to be spitting out 120 coal. And so 120 coal. I'm going to jump down and see if we can avoid this guy. Oops. Don't spit at me. Don't spit at me. Yeah, I know. I'm leaving your territory. So those guys can... That's why they're called spitters. Actually shoot stuff at you. Yeah. So I am going to clean this up eventually. Ow. I am going to clean this up eventually too. But for right now, I'm just trying to get the loop down. So let's do that. So eventually what I'll do is I'll build kind of a frame around this so it's not... so it's not as messy. But for right now, this will do it. So we're going to come right to the center here and go to that. And that is kind of how you make a perfect loop, and I'll show you. So now I can have it so it comes right here, and you can see how it makes that nice clean 90-degree turn as opposed to being off to one side. That's just kind of the trick there. And so what I was gonna do was have it feed down this side. So you can sort of see I built a ramp here. This is what I meant by building my factories all in the same grid. I actually do this. So I brought this down here, built this platform, and this is where we're going to be putting in the coal factories. And then it feeds up this way, and we need water because that is big up there. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, that's just kind of the trick with that one. So we will put there, and unfortunately what I did, I don't need that anymore. Oh, I didn't attach it. So right there, 1, 2, and we're going to grab it there. I'm just going to delete that because eventually this will all be underneath. Okay, so this is actually easier to do from up here. Eventually I'll be deleting all of this. So my plan here is initially I'm just going to have enough coal for, I believe, I'm going to have to double check and make sure they didn't change the formulas for this one. But it used to be one pure coal node with a Mark 1 miner would give you enough coal for 8 refineries. So we're going to go ahead and slap down a... Actually, hang on. We're going to go ahead and attach this first. Just without falling off because that would definitely kill me. Close enough to attach it. There we go. Oh, I see what I did. I actually had it down there.
I strongly advise you to harvest this specimen.
Where? I'm nowhere near one. That might be a bug. But anyway, now we got the coal coming out. That's good. So now we can actually go down there and we're safe. Because we've got the coal coming in. The only thing that might happen is that we run out of power between now and then. Power. Do you need to run... Did I run power down here? I did not. Okay. So again, this will be another thing that we'll have to clean later. Once I get those unlocks that I was talking about. So we're going to run this over here.
Comply.
No. So, and that there. Okay, so I should be able to reach that from here just in case. Put that right there. So now we've got power coming in. I'm going to jump down there. What I should do, and what I'll probably eventually do, is put a buffer in there, just in case the coal is backing up. I have enough coal to keep everything going. Oh, just a little short. Yeah, it's okay. Thankfully, this isn't realistic, and you can fall into water from a great height and not die. Almost. Come on, get up there. There we go. So I need to be a little bit careful because there is sometimes a spider that pushes its way through here. There it is. Damn it. Where are you? I heard you. There you. Oh, Jesus. It's a big one. Okay. Yeah, we're not messing with that. They can jump, so it can make that leap. So I need to be a little careful. Okay, so we're fine. So we're going to come down here. We've got the coal generator. I did pregame this, but I am notoriously bad at pregaming. So we'll see how well I did this. So for right now, I want to have it right about there. Right about there. It's not giving me the line. Nope, that is in line. Okay. So we're going to come up here, and we're just going to put down 8 of those. And we should have enough to do that. No problem. The thing is that we're going to have to come back here and sort of like the main base, just kind of clean it all up. Yeah, let's run a line. So I don't need this anymore because I've got my grid set up. Come down here, foundations, put it into... And nope, not there. Right there. That should be good for now. Oh, one of the things I was going to say was there are a bunch of coal nodes over here. And so while initially this will just be 8 coal factories, what I will eventually do is run the coal over here and kind of loop it back, attach it to this one, so I have a bunch of coal running through here and hooking up to this. And at that point, I do want to push these back a little bit. And then whatever is the leftover on those coal, on that coal line, I'll do the math on it so that I have enough. I'll have a steel factory over here, and it'll feed that. So you always want to have enough power to fuel what you're going to build next. So this guy, I actually do want to leave a little bit of room on both the front and the back, because eventually I'm going to build a wall back there and make it look pretty. So let's go ahead, build 8 of these. 2, 3, gonna need more foundations over here. 4, 5, yeah. One right there. Up to 5. Yeah, I'm gonna do this without falling in the water. 7. Will it fit? It will, just barely. When I come back and make this pretty, I'll probably put something on the back there. Well, I'll definitely put something on the back. Okay, so now we're going to put an elevator here and turn it that way. And we'll take a splitter. So this is just kind of a... No, it's under logistics. I'm just not far enough down. Oh, I'm missing cable. That's what I forgot to grab. But I did grab this. So, one of the nice things you can do, well, not nice, typically you plan this out a little bit better than I did. So come down here, just build one of these. Just build whatever you need on the fly and then delete it so it's out of your way. I usually have a workbench at each factory. It saves you a lot of time. Just sometimes you'll be at one factory and you just need one part and you don't want to have to run all the way back to get it, and there's no reason to. Just build a workshop there and then you got it. Or a craft bench. So I do need enough cable to run the wire up to the water extractors, which I'll show you in a minute. And power up all of these refineries. So probably need about 500. This won't be enough initially, but we'll get there. But I do need a bunch of splitters, so I'll show you that in a second. I think probably 300 should be close. Like I said, I always underestimate these. I am always wrong. You will figure that out real quick. There we go. That's good. So now we can get this out of the way. We are going to have a bunch of pipes coming down here. I might run out of pipes because they use copper sheets. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we got it. So what I'm going to do is logistics. Now I'm going to do this. Put this right about here. Line it up so that green line is there. Come up 3 times. You see how that orange thing is facing this way and the green line is facing that way? That's going to give us enough room. Now I can delete out these and run the Mark II belt from there to there. And so now what's going to happen is I'm going to make basically a manifold coming down this way. So it's going to feed coal from here. One of the things I'm going to do, let's do this. Bring this down to, the way I want to do this is have a merger, and I want it pointed, which way do I want it pointed? Probably this way would be fine. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this coal feeding in this way. And initially that'll be our only input. But like I was saying, I'm going to have a bunch of coal over on that little gap back there feeding in. And that'll be coming in from this side. And so what I want to do is kind of future-proof this thing. So again, we're going to put it 2 up, so it's, or 3 up, so it is as high as this manifold line is going to be. Now I'm going to grab this, and since this is all in the same grid, this should line up. Okay, so I want you to listen to this. I'm going to stop talking for a second. You hear that little ting? That means that it's lined up, and it's going to... I won't have to put plates in between. It'll automatically be in there. So if... Here, I'll show you. So let's go ahead and do the same thing here. We're going to put a Mark II conveyor, make sure it's facing the right way. You can sort of see those are all coming down. So right now, this is loading up with whatever coal it can get. So we're going to take a splitter and put it right. So I've got to set my... So I want to make sure that I'm lined up with that one. I believe I put it right here. Down, 2, and make sure it's facing up on 3. And yeah, for whatever reason, sometimes it lines up on the building and not the output. I think it will actually... That looks right. Okay, there we go. So I know I'm not going to be having anything else going this way, or at least not coal. So I can do that and make some tight turns. So now you're... Oh, hang on. I did that as the wrong belt. So we're gonna make that mark 2, so we're nice and firm. But you can see how that's already feeding coal across, and I didn't have to put belts from there to there. If you listen for that little tink, that's telling you that you can actually link those two without building anything. So this little part of the elevator will actually connect to it. And so now I'm going to kind of quickly go down. So one of the goals here is I can, even if I lose power at this point, I'll be able to, there'll be enough coal on the belts that it will still work. So that is facing the right way. Are we lined up? We are lined up. So let's just go ahead and do this first. So I'm going to line all these up first. And I don't know why it does this. So if you do a whole line of them in concert, it'll sometimes remember which way you're going to do it. But the first time you do that, it doesn't seem to remember that when I set this up, I want it to face this way. And so you just end up with a weird line of them. So this is kind of the tedious part, is just setting things up to look pretty, which is why I was just kind of going with sloppy initially, because this kind of stuff takes time. Is that actually lined up? Yeah. It is, okay. Well, it didn't look lined up. Don't trust your eyes, people. Okay. And make sure that one is turned. There we go. This one here. I want to check something real quick. Okay, yes, they do have the junction. I wasn't sure if the junction was a was an unlock, which wouldn't make a lot of sense if it was, but just wanted to make sure. Now, one of the tricks with one of the reasons I disconnected the factory up above was because oh, I don't need that one. The water generators take a lot of power, and so if I left that factory on, I wouldn't have enough power for to get this thing up and running. But once it's up and running, you're fine. It's just you need to have the coal factory working in order to get the coal factory working. It's kind of a catch-22. And a lot of your early, well, pretty much anytime you upgrade in power, it's like that. You kind of have to handcraft the really complicated components that go into making that power thing work. So you can sort of see what I'm going to do now is just kind of let this fill up for a bit. So I'll just jabber at you. So this one produces 75 megawatts. So if you'll remember, that is the biofuel generators only did 30. The two attached to the hub do, I think, 40. So one of these alone is producing... actually, I think if you were to take 2 of these, it equals all the power that was powering my bases, and I've got 8 of them. So that means that I'll be able to remake that base and make things a lot more efficient, which is kind of what we're going to do today. Now, the 2 inputs that a power generator needs is coal, which we're now feeding in, so you can see that that's ticking up. Should be efficient. It uses 15 per minute. Let me look at a calculator. So, and I know there's a calculator built into this, but I never remember what the shortcut is. No, I don't have it on. But yeah, we've got 120 coming down. Yeah, so we're going to be a little shy on coal, but that's fine. We can be. I'm going to be upgrading that miner pretty soon, and that'll make a difference. So we've got all that coming in. Let me make sure we're even feeding down here yet. There we go. So we got a little bit coming in. So while we're waiting for that to build up, we're going to come down here. That one's already backed up, so that's good. Yeah, so we got 100 coal in there, so that'll be good. So we want to take this, bring this back here. And for right now, it doesn't need to be perfect. You can see this has a link here. And keep in mind, these are power generators, so they're not, and I don't really need to line these up too carefully because I'm going to run the power in a different way. But since these are power generators, you are powering the machinery inside of them, but once you do that, they are actually, I'll leave that up right now, they are feeding power back into the grid. So you can have one of these things that's on, has everything coming in, you're like, why am I not getting more power? It's because you didn't plug this into your grid and make them power up effectively. So eventually what I'm going to do, and maybe I'll set it up to do it now. So now that I've got that platform up and running, again, I'm going to kind of remake this so it's pretty eventually, but for right now, I am just doing this so that it works. And now we're going to do a little bit of talking about head lift. So head lift is a term that you use in, I believe it's hydrodynamics, but what you're trying to do is if your water source is higher, so if you think about how water gets to your house, you'll either be in the lowlands or you'll have like a water tank in your town, like if you're in some place like Nebraska or eastern Montana or Wyoming or something like that, eastern Wyoming, where it's just flat. In the middle of your town, you'll have this huge water tank that'll be one of the tallest things in town, or at least it'll be well above the ground. The reason they do that is because you fill that with water and then gravity does all the work for you and it pushes it out. So you don't have to use pumps to push the water everywhere. Gravity is doing that for you. I'm using the same technique on this. And so what I'm going to do is rather than putting a bunch of pumps down here or a bunch of water extractors down here and then using pumps which require power to push the water up to the refineries there, I'm going to have the water up here and then gravity will do the work for me. As long as the extractors are higher than the refineries, then the water will flow downhill, and even if I have an upturn in the pipes, it will still it'll still push the water up because the source of the water is higher than the point of delivery. And so what I'm going to do is kind of exacerbate that by putting this line underneath. And so what we're going to do here is run this thing underneath. And again, the Awesome Shop gives you more options here where you can kind of put cool links in the floor and you can make it look all fancy. We don't have those unlocked yet. I typically don't put in an Awesome Shop until I have the power to import it, which is, and you have, so let's talk about the Awesome Sink for a second while I'm on the subject. So the Awesome Shop requires tickets, and tickets, what you do is you have the Awesome Shop, which is this right here, the Awesome Sink. And what this does is this takes anything, any of the commodities that you're building, it feeds it into that. It basically deletes them, fires them up to fix this up in space, and you lose those commodities, but it gives you tickets. And it's kind of got this ramp to it where it's geometric, and so you have to put more and more and more stuff in to get the same number of tickets. But with those tickets, you can go to the Awesome Shop and unlink them. So these guys are water extractors, and I'm going to put this right over there. That should be lined up. Hold down control. I need to be a little bit. Can't afford. Oh, damn it! Did I seriously use that many plates? Hold on. Reinforced plates. I've got screws. We have some plates. We're gonna have to make a trip back. But this will be enough to get us started. because one will feed, we'll have to do a little bit of loading. This will get us started. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to bring this pipe, and I think pipes actually have a option 2. We have noodle. Yeah, noodle allows you to kind of do weirder shapes with things. As the name suggests. So this one I am going to, let's see, do I want to set it up that way? Doing a little thinking in my head. They're actually out loud. You can hear my thoughts. That's how amazing they are. I'm going to do, because what I'm eventually going to do is I'm going to have 3 water extractors, and they need to be load balanced, because one of the things you run into with fluid dynamics in this game is it's really easy to have too much water in one place and not enough water in another. And so what I'm going to do is run 3 separate pipes down. So yeah, let's go while we're here. We'll go and so let's go and delete that one. We'll put a line over here, because this will be our first one. Is that the line that I just did? Yes, it is. So we're just going to run that out. Because for right now, we're just trying to get initial power coming into our system. I don't need noodle anymore, so let's just go. Where's auto 2D? I haven't played with a lot of those settings on it, so I might have to come back and do that. So we're going to turn that 90 degrees. I'm leaving enough room to kind of future-proof it. See if that's lined up. It isn't. So it needs to be right there. So this is just to initially make it look pretty. Again, I'm probably going to come back and redo all this anyway, so I don't need to be this finicky. What I'm going to be. This one will run on the outside of this one. But eventually, when I pull all of the other coal over there, and I have a whole bunch of coal power coming in, I'm going to need just as much water to compensate for those in order to power all those coal generators and fill them up. And so the goal is to make it so we can do that. Okay. And give it enough room that I'm not running spaghetti through all of those. And so what I'm going to do is just initially run this right about there, which should be fine. And then we're going to put this right about, that is not on the bench, right about there. Now we're going to run this pipe invalid shape. So that's one of the reasons you have the noodle in order to do that. But I still want to see about there. So now if we do this and change it to noodle, it'll go up just fine. And the thing is, one of the annoying things, you can sort of see that's a little bit too far to the right, so it's kind of bending like this. That means that it'll call it an invalid shape, but when you do noodle, it gives you a little bit more freedom to place those, so that's why you do noodle. So now you can sort of see that we don't have anything coming in here, and that is because extractors, water extractors, use power, and they use a fair amount of power. So we're going to bring this down here. So you'll notice that I'm not hooking up the other power yet, and it's because we need the power from the coal refinery in order to power our coal refinery. So that's kind of what I mean by you kind of got a catch-22 here. Jump it from time, get that right in there, come down here, put you right, oh, it's on the side, down here. right there. Okay, we are live, so that'll take a couple seconds. It's firing up. And these bad boys do use a lot of power, so that's why I turned off the main factory. So here comes our water. It's coming in. It does have to push it up this little bit of hill, but it's not so high that it can't do it. So now we're going to have water. It's going to slowly fill this up. Again, just hydrodynamics. That's coming down. And essentially what's happening is because of this slope, so this thing should fill up 300, I think. Let me go down and look at this while I'm here. I believe these are 150 water, and these pipes carry 300. So, this. Yeah, so this will put out 120. So each one of these, or every 2 water extractors, can basically fill up 1 pipe. But you can sort of see right there, it's full. That's not full just because of the hydrodynamics and it's not getting used up. This is filling up with water, just like if you were to have a belt of coal coming down and it hit the end of the line, it would just fill up with coal. We're doing the same thing except it's water, is the basic idea. So pretty soon here, we should have this guy, should get enough water coming into it that it fires up. We aren't getting any water in. Why not? No power. You know, I'm wondering if Noodle is causing a problem. So let's do this. I hadn't used Noodle before. Might be causing an issue. We'll see. So I'm gonna go this way. Do this. We might not have enough water in here, so now that's kicking on. So you can see the water's building up. I actually jumped back up. That's the question. I can't. Okay. So we're going to build a little ramp here because I do kind of want to watch this happen. This won't be living here. No. Will let me build a ramp there? Oh, because I have it on 0. That's why. R default. Okay. No power. Oh, because it doesn't have enough water coming in. So there's one. This is going up real slow. Might have. I might have misjudged. No, that should be fine. That should be able to get water up there. Well, we're going to put a pump right here just to kind of get the ball rolling. I might have screwed that up. Yeah, that. So you see how much that thing is pushing there? So we do this. Now that should help. Oh, okay, there we go. No power. Why? Oh, because I turned it on. Now we go. Okay. So that comes on. We now have another 75. So as I turn these things on, you're going to see it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's going to have more power coming in. So 300, 120 coming down. This uses 50 water. So at most we can feed 2 of these with that. I'm going to keep this pipe going for reasons I will explain in a second. Okay, grab it. Should get right about there. That. And I'm thinking, man, I should have been able to do that without a pump. Unless they've changed how headlight works. So we're going to do that. See if that works. That is filling up with water. Is this filling up with water? Okay, so that is filling up with water. I do need to plug it into the power. So we're going to go through and we're going to plug all of these into power now. So this one goes there, this one goes there, this one goes there, and on down the line. Hear it firing up in the background. That's what we want. Okay. So we got 2 green bars there, so now that's going. You can see it did another jump. This is what we want to see. 120, now that that's running 50, so yeah, this should be able to run a little less than 10, so about 8, we should be good. We've got, we could do up to 300, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect another one, and then I'm going to go up and water pumps. We're going to need more reinforced plates. In order to do that, we're going to have to go. So yeah, I planned out the reinforced plates to build 3 water extractors, but I didn't plan it out to build the whole belt apparatus that would have to support it, so here we are. So it is very possible we will lose power on this because it's trying to do, because we'll run out of water. So let's jump up here. Ooh, that's a problem. I can't actually get back up. Well, I can, but I'm going to have to outrun the pig. Let's outrun pigs. That could be fun. You guys can watch me die again. Okay, so this is a good example. This is a really good example. So you can see how that was originally going this way. That's because the water's hitting here and it's backing up, so now it's coming back. Now it's feeding the correct direction. So that's one of the reasons that you use the pumps, is to kind of force the water to go the direction that you want to. Now it's slowing down, so it's hitting its limit. Nope, going the right way. Now it's coming back the other way. So we have more water in our pump, or in our set here, than we otherwise need. Now, yeah, I'm gonna go back and get the plates. So we're just gonna jump in here. The good thing about the spiders is that they are typically nocturnal, so you won't usually see them running around in the day. They are horrific, so I'm sorry if you have arachnophobia, but have you ever tried not having arachnophobia? I say that to my sister. She does not get amused by that. I don't know why. Okay, so I'm going to guess that the spiders stay out during the day. Called a hunch. Hopefully he got stuck there. Now we're going to stick way to the left here because there's a gigantic pig right there. But you can sneak around in this patch, so that is what we are going to try to do. They get hung up on rocks, so if I hug the side here, it should be okay. There's a spitter over there. We're going to try to avoid that. He saw me. Leave me alone, buddy. We'll get along great. Yep. Yep. I'm going to stay over to the left here because there's pigs right there. I don't really want to get killed by pigs. Kind of embarrassing. I believe I grabbed all of my reinforced plates, so I am going to have to make some light. But that's okay. You can kind of see what the process is here. And let's see, how long have we been going? How long did that take me? About an hour. Yeah, that's about right. I'll probably spend another... Yeah, I always think it'll be an hour, and then I'll look up and it'll be 11 o'clock at night, and I've been doing this for 12 hours. Satisfactory is that kind of game. Mike, why don't you come out and hang out with us? Well, I'm doing really important stuff. I'm sorry, guys. Kind of a big deal. I mean, if I don't power Fixus's plans for taking over the world, who will? Who will? So now we're going to turn on all of our factory again. Now that we got enough power, we can pretty much just let the biomass burners burn down now. So you can see those big dips in productivity in total power. That is because our we don't have enough water in the line, so that last power plant, the last coal power plant, is shutting down and coming back on and shutting down and coming back on. In a perfect world, you want your power to be absolutely constant. You want that to be flat all the way across, because otherwise it means that you have inefficiencies in your power line. And now you know. So let's grab that. We got a whole plate out of that. Oh, we're not producing rods, but we got more than enough rods here, so we're good. So let's come down here and make some reinforced plates. How many plates do I have? 69. Nice. That's not enough, so not nice. I believe plates are this one. We have 200 of those. Water extractors need 10 apiece, so I actually don't need that many because I don't need to run a bunch of belts to them since they're running off of water. So come over here, make some reinforced plates, which we can make 45 of. Go us. Pet my dog, who's sleeping, which he usually does. He's only a 4-year-old, but he's a Doberman, and if they're not spazzy, they're lazy. And so right now, he's being lazy. I will set up a Rufus cam eventually. You can watch the dog sleep if you don't want to watch my face, which I totally get. So we have more than enough to build those 2 water extractors. Seems like I'm always running out of iron plates, so I'm going to keep that going for a little bit. I want to go 2 overboard because regular plates are something that are used. Do we have enough cable? We got enough cable. I think we're good. Let's run back. So the next thing we're going to do is delete every single thing that's down here, and we're going to rebuild it up on that other level. Except for the concrete factory. Concrete factory will kind of stay where it is. We'll pretty it up a little bit when we build our main sort of advanced factory. But when I build out the iron factory, that'll be a little bit different. Okay, so come down here. The goal here is to get all 8 of those power plants up and running. So again, we're heading off to the right because I don't want to get attacked by pigs. And probably I'll end this one. I'll set up the crystal node. And no, leave me alone. No. Yeah, I'll set up that crystal node and feed that into the awesome sink, and that'll probably be a good place to stop. So I know that I can't actually jump over that. Whee! Oh, so close. I'm going to take damage with it. Okay, so now we're going to get the other 2 water extraction plants up and running. Again, okay, the water's still going the right way. That's good. What I might do, organization. Can we actually build a buffer? We can build a fluid buffer, but it takes reinforced. It takes modular frames. It takes 5 of them. That might actually be worth it to put a fluid buffer up there. I'll do that in a bit. That'll be something when I come back and sort of re-efficientify this. So you can see that there's not a lot of water here, mainly because it's rolling downhill, so it doesn't need to do as much effort, whereas it's kind of backing up here. Once we put a second water extractor in there, it'll kind of exacerbate that, which is kind of our goal. Okay. Let me up. Let me up. It's not going to work. It's kind of one of the parts of the early game is you don't have any of your movement upgrades, so I get spoiled. Yeah, so one of the things I'm going to do, probably off camera, is unlock a lot of the Caterium node in the MAM. Okay, so these things are gas and they will kill you. These things right there, they pump out gas and it's poisonous and you can't take them out, so you are just stuck with them for the rest of the game. Just do that. Turn 90. Okay. So these are 300 a minute. You know, I think we could get away with actually making 3 feed 1 because it's kind of sticking in between 120 and 100. So let's do that. So I'm going to delete this real quick, which is a little bit dangerous. So now that we've got that pipe over there, we'll do this, take this, run this over here real quickly so we don't die from gas. Put it right there. Hopefully we're high enough that the gas doesn't hit us. It always seems like there's a little bit of lag on it, so we might be okay. Put that way. Okay, again, put down control. There we go. And we're going to run the pipe from there to... Come on. And we can also slide under this, so if you hold down... Yeah, I just don't think I have enough room. So if you hold down run, which is shift, and then hit C, you slide under things. I just didn't want to do that and land in the water, so do that. Do that. Now we're going to run the power. And again, this will be another one that we clean up in a little bit. That there, so put that up, and water should no longer be a problem. So now we can come down this pipe. Let's see, yep. So that one's going, that one's going. So now we should have a lot more water coming down this. This one should be fuse broken. Damn it. Okay, I was kind of worried about that. Yeah, so the problem is those water extractors take a lot of power. Okay, I'm just going to put a foundation right there so that can slide underneath right here. I'm going to turn this one off because I think we have enough power in our system to power 2, but we don't have enough power 1. So we got to flip on. So we got 3 running. So I mean, it takes, to give you an idea, 3 generators here just to power those 3 water extractors. But those 3 water extractors can power, I think, about 8 of these things, or at least they used to. So you can see that we're steady now. But we're kind of pushing the line on what these water extractors can do. I still think my map is off here. I think I need 2 pipelines. We do this, but with the head lift we should be partially okay. So let's see if this fires on. Got to build up the water first, and now it's reversing. So it should be throwing water in. Okay, so that one's live. Good there. Let's put this one on. Put it here. And there are ways to do this so that the water doesn't go backwards by putting in fluid buffers and everything, but a little tricky, at least with what I've got right now. And I know that I'm going to eventually be having bigger pipes that can carry more water. So I'm kind of future-proofing this. What I don't want to do is... Yeah, you can see how those are kind of coming on and off. That is not what we want. Definitely not what we want. So probably what is happening... I am going to kill... That one's coming in. So for some of my plans, you'll see people will perfectly load balance their stuff. Some of these only work when they're completely filled up. I think my issue right now is water. I think I'm going off of an old plan for water. So if I kill the line right here, I think we'll have enough water in the line to power those 6. So I'll have to wait until I can build more water extractors and more pipes coming down before this will operate efficiently. So let's see. What I really want to do is jump over and make sure that that's what's going on. This one's going on and off. I just want to make sure it's not cold, because if it's cold, we got a problem. This one should be 100% of the time. You can see how my power is fluctuating all over the place. Something, I believe the third one was going on and off. That one seems pretty consistent. It's this one. So I'm guessing it's water. It's usually water with these things. Yeah, and so you can sort of see the power line here, how it's going up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. That's because these power generators are coming on and off. It's got more than enough coal. So we're not worried about the coal, we're worried about the water. And so that could be an issue. So something that I might do to get around that is, we know it's fine up until about this one. So we're going to put kind of a jumper right here to push water in from the other direction. Again, not super efficient, but for right now we're just trying to get the thing working. And I want to jump under it. I want to slide under it. So what we want to do is... Actually, pull the water. Where's the brake? The brake is right there. So we're going to pull water from here. Nope. And pull it back in over here. So now we've got a loop. So as opposed to hitting the end of the line and coming back and trying to fill it in, it's going to form a big loop. And now these first 3 are getting plenty of water. These last ones aren't, because it's trying to push the water back. But we want a steady stream of water coming in and filling these things. So now it should be a lot more efficient. Let's see. So that one's going on and off still. This one's fine. Wait, why are you going on and off? Oh, because that's ridiculous. Okay, we're going to actually flip it right here. We'll flip that. So flip this back in, because this will be one of those things where I'll hook up that pipe there. Why is it working? Which is how it sounded. That's what it sounds like when I'm not talking on stream. So slide back under. Slide. And grab it from there. Yeah, somewhere my math is good. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 1. This looks like the water is coming in more than struggling. Oop. Didn't slide far enough. Oh, it did slide far enough. It just wasn't. Oh. Slide into the water because I have a ring. So now we get to see that spider again. Yippee! And unfortunately, I don't have a weapon big enough to take him on. Hopefully, he's still glitching and just sitting there. He's behind me. Hopefully, he's not behind me. I don't hear him running, so I think we're good. Okay, so green, 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 green. We're good. Okay, and those two are off. We got 5 running. And they're running consistently. Nope. Yeah, I am thinking my old formula. I'm either going off of the old way of doing this where I'm using advanced plates. Yeah, so again, the water is the problem. So it needs, well, it does look like it's gradually building up, doesn't it? So it could be it just needs to wait until it has enough water in its system. Yeah, it's looking pretty steady now. And we're gradually gaining, I think, 8, 9. So if that hits 10, we're gradually going up. So now it's 11. Okay, so we're gradually gaining on that. So, yeah, so I guess I was wrong. So let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like 3 water extractors can power 5 generators. That doesn't sound right. I'll have to go back and do the math on that one later. Something's goofy because this should have worked with all 8. But eventually what I'll do is I'll put more water extractors up there, push the water down, and feed, like, the next 5, I guess. So eventually I'll be getting 10 of these as opposed to 8. But this should be enough power for what we wanted to do. And it's on consistently. Let me look one more time. Yeah, so you see this is the way that you want it. Our maximum capacity is a solid line. Our production is 370 megawatts. It's a solid line that's going to drop a little bit as our biofuel generators come off, but it's not going to drop by a lot. This should be enough to rebuild the base over there, and that is what we are going to do right now. So, can't jump back up. So unfortunately, we have to worry about the danger pig and worry about the spider, but then we'll be back at our base. We don't have to worry about either of them. He's over here. Let me up! Let me up! Okay. Listen for the little clicky clack of those cane legs. So one thing is, when they're out of sight... Oh, I heard you. When they're out of sight, they can respawn. So if you do a bunch of damage to them, run away, and then come back a little while later, they'll be fully healed because it's a new bug, basically. That's true on any of the animals. I generally try not to... Oh, yeah, I know. You don't need to kill me. I'm leaving. It's all yours. Merry Christmas. Spitter, we'll get around that. Hyper cow. Nope, leave me alone, hyper cow. They can also launch you too, which is unpleasant. Because the little ones can run up on you, and then they kind of do a point blank spit, and they'll throw you up in the air. And if you're on the edge of a cliff, you ain't living. So, I try not to kill those guys because they're not outwardly aggressive. Like a spider will pursue you to the end of the earth when it's not glitching. everything else, generally, if you run out of its territory, it'll leave you alone. So right now, we're going to go up on our line. We're going to delete our whole base down here. We have the power coming in right there, which is fine. I might run that line up, but I'm going to get up on that bar and just start deleting. But one thing I want to make sure I do have is enough room to fit all of it. I think I do. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be a little bit close. I'm going to keep the bioburner going for now just because it's free energy, because, I mean, I've already spent the biofuel, so why not? But I am going to start taking out everything else. Again, concrete, leaving where it is. This thing is making the smart plates for the space elevator, so I can go ahead and take that out. I don't really need to take the miners down, but I'm gonna. So we can kill this. So if you hold down control, you can delete up to 50 things, provided they're all within sight distance. Turn orange, and you can just hold this down and go to town. I am going to take a quick look. One problem with doing this is that if you run out of inventory space, which I actually am kind of starting to do, it will just create a box, and then you've got a box sitting there, and if you forget that box is there, oh, okay, so that would have been a mistake. If you forget that box is sitting there, is going to be a part of your base forever, and it's annoying, especially if you're just trying, if you're a neat freak. So let's go ahead and get rid of these. Don't need those anymore. And this will be good because, okay, you see how I created that crate? That means that we're full up on resources. So what I'm going to do to get around that is we're going to make organization. I'm going to build a storage container. Right now I'm going to build it right here. And I'm going to dump the things that I'm probably not going to use immediately. So those, I don't need those. I am going to need a ton of concrete, and I'm going to need plates. So we're probably going to be running down and making plates real soon. So let's kill that, because we're going to be building a lot of these. So we don't need that. I do want to keep the plates running, so we're going to leave that one active. Can I delete? It'd be nice if you could delete those crates if you had enough room. But what I'm going to do, we don't need that. Okay, so this is actually kind of cool. One of the things you can do if you want to see what's in a container is you can actually move this across. So you can see how that one has 228 plates. That one has reinforced plates. That one has rotors. Because the 10 plates and 10 rods are what it takes to build that storage container. And one of the cool things about this game is it doesn't punish you for... Oh, crap. Ow. It doesn't punish you for being creative. So if you see something and you're kind of like, oh, I want it to look this way as opposed to that way, you can delete it, and it's not like in other games where it takes 10 to make it, but if you delete it and try to rebuild it, it's only going to give you back 8, so you lose 2 in the process, whatever it is. Let me make sure I did the right. Yeah, so it's plates. So we don't need that anymore. That one's empty. That one's empty. Don't need you or you or you or you. I do want you feed. No, you're making rods, so we don't need you right now. Get rid of that. How about we set up I'm gonna do my first unlock with the awesome shop, since we're I want to keep this line running for right now. This guy, delete that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is come down here, make the awesome sink, and it does need to be powered. I don't think it uses a ton of power, but it doesn't not use power. So what we're going to do is just set up an awesome sink here. We're going to do organization. We're just going to build a crate right there. Make sure it's facing the right direction. Logistics. That there. And we're going to hook it up to power. Hook you up there. So this uses... Does it not use power? It's where it uses power. But we need to get 1,000 coupons to do an unlock. So what I'm going to do is put these in. So these are very simple resources. This is just ore. So you can see it's only reducing it by 2 points right up here until I can get my coupon. So we're not getting a lot of bang for our buck for that. But if we come down here and we put 2 iron ingots in, when iron ingots hit, because they're a more complicated resource, you're dropping it by 4. And by the same token, if I come down here and I put in plates, I'm not seeing plates. Let's do concrete. But basically each consecutive, yeah, so you can see that that's quite a bit more. The more complex things you feed into the awesome sink, the more points you get. So as you scale up, you'll be producing extra. So you'll have cargo containers will be filling up, and you won't have anything to do with the access. So your factory will just basically come to a standstill because it doesn't need to produce anything because it's at the end of the line. It's filled up the cargo container, so it's all just backed up. The way you can avoid that is feed things into these awesome sinks. And you can have as many of these as you want. I typically have 1 per factory that I'm building, just so that anything extra that I'm producing is getting fed into there and giving me these coupons. Because again, one of your unlocks for a lot of the things that will make your factory very clean is doing this. So I've already got 1 coupon. I think I need 3. So let's make an awesome shop right here. And I want to unlock these. So yeah, I need 3 wall power outlets before I can do that. So we have got 2. Concrete's kind of in the beginning, concrete's kind of a good one to do. Crystal is a really good one, which I'll be setting that up next. So let's see, you guys are still going strong. Unfortunately, I want to be able to unlock that power thing before I get going, just because it's kind of key to how I want to make my base. There are other little things I need just to make it look pretty, but the power thing is the thing that I actually need, because I don't need poles. We're almost there. We're almost there. We got it. So now we got 3 tickets. We print coupons. We take that, and it goes up here. So now it's gone. Now it's counting up again. And each coupon costs a little bit more than the last one. So it's like 1,000, then it's 1,200 to get another coupon. It's like 1,500, and so on and so on and so on, until when you're aiming for like 100 coupons, you need like 100,000 points before you can unlock the next coupon. So they want you to feed more and more complex things into it. Fix it is evil. So yep, let's hop over to this. We come in here, attachments. We want that. We're going to add it to cart. We hook the cart. Should all look familiar if you ever bought anything online. Now we got wall outlets, which is what we want. But other things that I was talking about that are useful, conveyor lift holes. You can run conveyors through a floor, but it just looks sloppy. You can mount conveyors to a wall with that thing, which is kind of nice. Not hypertube, but pipeline floors. Same thing, you can run a pipe through a floor, but it just kind of looks weird. And this can use as an attachment point, so you can actually start making it look pretty, which is the goal, or you can run through the wall by the same token, which is eventually what we're going to do to that power station. But for right now, We got that power step, so we're good. So what I am going to do is make a power plug that sticks right I'm going to put it on the edge so that I can always see it. So now we're going to run power along the wall here and kind of make it sneaky. Did I already pull that up? No, it's only here. Okay, good. So put that there. I always like to make this box facing outwards. It doesn't matter. It's not. The switch actually isn't that box, so even if you were to hide that box in the geometry of the wall, it wouldn't matter. I'm just making it look pretty, which is probably 75% of what this game is just making things look pretty. Okay, so we're gonna come over here. Do that. Okay, now we got power running up there, and that's good. So now we can come up here. What I messed up on. Oh yeah, that's right. I never finished this. So we're going to delete. No, not that. That. Not that. No. Don't need that. Don't need that or that. That or that. Do we have any old floors sticking out here? No. Okay, get rid of that. That. It's probably going to start building crates, which is fine because then we can empty those crates and put them over in the awesome sink. More. Sometimes what it'll do is you'll delete something in the sky and it'll just create a box in the sky. Not super useful because then you have to build something to get up to it, and yeah, that's never ideal. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to build a miner here, which I actually didn't need to delete that miner, but you might call it a minor inconvenience. Yeah, that's content you come here for, except I didn't line it up. And I could use the minor inconvenience joke again, but I'm high class, so I don't do that. I'll totally do that to you. Okay, so one of the things I'm going to do now is I want to build one of these right there. Oh, and I want zoop on. Because what I am going to do is I want everything feeding this way. And so, in order to pull that off, and so a lot of the building on this is you'll build things just to pull something off, and then you'll delete it because you built the thing where you wanted it to be, and then you just clear it off, so it looks like no, I wasn't sloppy. I built it this way because I'm a genius. And by people, I mean me. I do that. And we are in zoo. Just bring that down because I'm going to need it anyway. Yep, here. And then let's just put you this way. Jump up there? Yes, I can. Okay. So what I'm going to do, we've got 3 miners over here, and we've got this miner here. So what I want to do is, let's see, where's the output on that? It's right there. Yeah. So I want that centered. How high does 2 go? That's just about perfect. We'll do that. So let's go with this. Bring this guy up. We might actually run low on belts in this one. So alright. There. Oh. Are we off on the line? Lame. That's okay. We'll live with that. I can live with one thing being off-center, I think. Too steep. Okay. Which is fine. So we're gonna take this. We want it centered, but we also want this part to look pretty. So I am gonna move this a little closer. Put it right about there. And it does go down. Now we're gonna drag this all the way over to here. I think that is the max distance a belt can go. We'll find out. Come on, grab it, grab it, grab it. There we go. That right there. And go stackable pole all the way down at the end here, and there is a method to my madness, I swear. So I'm gonna do this. Grab that. Bring it down. And this is one of the places where that that floor hole would come in handy. So hopefully I can go and I can unlock that, because one of my goals here is I'm going to run a belt up this way, and then all the belts from all of these guys will be feeding up into this, and we're going to have one line of iron going down, and I'm going to have 16 smelters above them that feed it. And you'll kind of see how I build this. I'm going to kind of load it on one side, and that is because eventually we get to the point where we can upgrade our miners, and at that point, oh, you can see that hole is our inventory. Oh, super cool. But I do want that hole first. But you can have it that miners can be upgraded too, and when you start upgrading those, then make sure there's no other boxes here. I don't think there is. They're pumping out more ore. So when you have more ore coming in, you can have more foundries or more smelters making more products, basically. And so you just kind of keep going on that line, and if you give yourself enough room, then you don't have to delete your factory each time you go through it. So do we have any extra tickets here? We got one ticket. I think those floor holes. Oh, they only cost one? Seriously? Nice. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get that one right now. Grab that. Yeah, I would like a conveyor hole. Thank you. File. Yeah, so now we got a conveyor for it. Okay. Let's think this through. I think we're good. Now we should have enough plates going. We have those coming in. I don't need you anymore. I don't need you anymore. I don't need you anymore. I don't think we're gonna need rotors for a hot minute. Let me see with assemblers. I'm trying to remember if assemblers do require rotors, so I'm gonna need a couple for that. Constructors, we need the reinforced plates. How many reinforced plates do we have? We have 278. That should be enough to get through this. Plates we want to keep building up, or do. How many regular plates do we have in our inventory? Like 300, and we got enough to make more? Yeah, we don't need the same one. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Again, concrete's going to keep going. We're going to keep the copper going. But we don't need this guy. Okay. Let's leave that. Okay, good. So we got a few extra things we can feed into this. Let's see, what are we going to need? We are going to need rods, because we're going to be building a lot of electrical. We're going to need, we'll get there, so let's get rid of that. We're going to dump, let's see if there's anything. Yeah, it's close, but, yeah, so I've got that line going down, and just delete these, delete that, and now it just looks like we have this cool belt, and that one. So now we've got this one that's going to feed over there. We've got our power up here, which is good. We're going to put a miner. Don't have a portable miner? How did I... Is there a box there that I'm missing? I'm trying to figure out how I deleted that and didn't have a miner in my inventory. Wonder if I put a miner on the line. Could have. I might have, could have. Let's put a couple miners then. Apparently we're short. So we're going to build 2 miners. Miners are another thing that you can put on the feed that do pretty well. Okay, need a couple more things in here. So basically anything I have that's single. So that one, reinforced plates do get you a lot, by the way. So leave that for now. $115. I really do want to save the concrete, so save that. Yeah, we'll do that. That's just kind of steadily feeding in. Do we have another ticket yet? We got 2 coupons. So eventually what I want to unlock is the foundations. Like this double ramp is really super useful for all of the builds. You've got walls like these and the glass walls, window walls. We need to research quartz before we can do that. Yeah, it really, really, really helps with your design to have those, but we don't need them yet. Sure, buddy. Put this one up. We're good. So this we're gonna turn. Damn, I felt another box. Was I seriously that tight on? Weird. Okay. So on miner, we're gonna have this face that way. We're gonna have this one face that way. And now that we've cleared up some space, we can pick up some ore. Here's okay. Yeah, this one face this way. Now I'm going to drop the ore in here just so that it's not sucking up space in my inventory. We're good there. That is going to drive me crazy that it's not lined up. Not sure why the miners aren't lining up on the north-south. There we go. So, make you and make you. You and make you north-south. And actually, we're going to do the same thing with that one while we're here. I mean, when I upgrade the miner, it won't matter as much. So let's kill that. We'll kill that. This will be a little hard to eyeball, but we can do it. So here, miner. Do this way. Yep. Okay. 4. Nope, not 4. That's actually getting to the point where I can start doing that once I think that looks like it's pretty close. Did I eyeball that right? Usually I go a little short for some reason. How long is that one? That one's right there. Let's do that. That looks pretty good. Okay. So, that is feeding the... That's feeding the concrete, so we're going to feed this up We put this one right there. This one is going to go right there. We're going to put a line on this side and run it over here. Going to run that down to this. And one of the things right now, you can kind of see that I'm kind of being, you don't need to be as fast now, which is kind of nice. And I'm going to do the same thing with the copper here. So fill that, fill that, fill that, and fill that. Because we have coal power coming in. And because the coal power is, since it's automated power, we don't have to run out and get, we don't have to constantly be running out, cutting down trees and gathering up leaves and everything. We don't have to worry about the power. It just kind of works. And so there we go. So we got all four mines. No. We don't have all four mines. We need this one. Needs to come down here. And right about there is fine. You feed that. Now the copper line is online again. Right here. There's something on the ground. Oh, yeah, the belt. And you go right there. And feed that up. Okay, so all four of our miners are back up and running. So what we need to do now is we come to logistics. We have a merger. We know that that one is going to meet right about here. It auto sets it up so it's pointing the right direction, which is nice. I do want it lined up. I can actually look at that. Let's go on that inventory so we can see the thing. Need to be a little careful because I'm on the edge of a cliff here. There we go. So that's running up. I did connect that, right? Now I did not. Okay, so now we have going there, that's fine. Now we're going to put a merger right about there, and a merger right about four. Okay. And then we're gonna have a there. You kind of point it this way. This one is deliberately lower. And how many did I go? 1, 2, 3, just above 4. So you can sort of see that there's the little notches there. 1, 2, 3, and one above 4. So we can do. Nope. Nope. You. Oh, it's not lined up. Oh. That is painful. Okay, hang on. Maybe I can work it from this side. I don't think I will, but we'll test it. Oh, it's off just a little bit. Wonder if we can do noodle with the belts. Let's find out. R. No. Yeah. Okay. So we need to move this like a millimeter to the left. It's annoying, but we got to do it. Okay, so we're going to go with a merger. That looks pretty well lined up. Can I actually do it this way? Right about there. So we got that. So we're listening for that little thing. Nope, we're still a hair to the right. Yeah, I can see it. Okay, so I want to be standing here when I look up. And this is one of the little tedious things about this game. It's lining things up. I think that that's good. But typically you only have to do it once, and then... Wait, now are we to the left? Kidding me? Okay. God, that looks pretty lined up, doesn't it? If it's off by even a little bit, it'll give you a little bit of wiggle room. I think it might be a hair too high. That's what's going on. Damn it. Okay. Got another way we can do this. It's... Yeah, we'll just do it this way. So I'll delete that. Bring this guy just down to ground level. And hopefully this isn't an invalid shape. Okay, there we go. So now we've got ore feeding up. We're good. Okay, so this one's good. We got that. We're going to bring... this one actually should just... That's right. Because I'm not doing it that way. This way. Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We know that's too short. So right about there should be good. Gonna bring that up there. And so now everything is high, and I like that because those little beams can walk through and be fine. I did get conveyor belts, right? Yeah, or holes. There we go. So we got the hole. So we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. So now we got our ore coming up. We come over here. Our biomass burners are still going. That's one of the reasons I like that biofuel. Oh, hang on. I didn't realize I deleted that. You. I don't think there's any more stuff in there, but just in case we'll do that. The coal power should carry us, and in a few minutes here I should be able to go back and build the what we got in here. There's the damn miner that I was looking for. Let's... Okay, for right now I'm just going to put that there just a little bit, and then I'm going to feed it down into the awesome center. I kind of want to show you what I'm planning on doing here. So, the base is going to start right about... Is that the big one? That's right about here. So probably about this third one in is where I want the first of the smelters to be. So I'm going to put this right about, again, kind of eyeballing this, which isn't ideal. And we're going to jump across, and we're going to have this be 2. Oh, I know what's going on with my plan here. I was originally going to have it that this was going to be where the belt is, and then the next level up would be the smelter, but not really a super good reason to do it that way. Eventually I'm going to come through and make these floors probably glass. I'd like to do that because then you can kind of see what it's doing. So now the question is, got an interesting way to do this. Let's do it this way. So I'm going to have a splitter right here, and again we're doing it in line. We know we want 3 tall, and now we're going to see if I line this thing up right. If not, it's not a big deal. I just need to move the I'll just need to move. Are you not going to wait for that? No. So one of the things I wish, did they fix this yet? Okay, so the thing about this floor thing is that you can't snap it to this. I wish they'd make it so that you could snap it to that, because that then you could see where the belt is and you could just put it down and you'd be fine. But as it is, so let's see. So it's basically right there. Okay. So we're going to delete this guy. Come over here. Do this. Right. Okay. So, 2. Do it. There. Oh shit. Can I make that jump? I cannot. Okay. That's why we got to unlock the Tyrium. Is you get these things called blades. You slap them on your legs. They're basically like those things that you see people that put up drywall and roofs. It's kind of like that. They've got little springs on the bottom of them. You can fall from farther distances, but you move way faster too, and you can jump further. It's, hi, those are doggo. We'll get one of those eventually. You get several of them eventually. The problem is that they can bring you gifts, and one of the gifts they can bring you is nuclear waste. That's nice. So we're going to do a splitter. Put it right about... actually, yeah, I'll center it. I will center it. Not that. Right there. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we are going to build smelters, and we can build 16 of them. And I'm going to have them facing in. So we'll do that. Initially, I'm just going to build 8 just to kind of show you what the idea is. Because we're going to have 16 on the side, because again, the way that I'm doing the math on this is that off. So I'm going to change this. This is, it needs 30 ore per minute, and we have 4 smelters, or 4 miners that are pushing out 120 a minute. So just doing the math on it, we know that we only need 16 of these, and that is efficient. So we got 4. Now we're going to do smelter. And since these are all just producing one commodity, now one of the things I want to do, I shouldn't have put them all down, because now I need to make sure that this will actually do the thing I want it to do, which I don't think it will. I think I put it way too close. Yeah, I put it way too close, damn it. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of one of those things where you start getting twitchy about making it look pretty. You can get into this game where, oh, I put it like 1 block too close to pull off the thing I'm trying to do. So that should actually be fine. Actually go a little bit closer. Once you get it lined up, you're good. You can just keep doing it. Yeah, so I think halfway should be good. So what I'm going to do is there, that around, and that, this, and that across. So these are all just building one commodity, and they're just making iron. So the only thing that I care about is that they're making iron ingots, and that's literally all I care about. And then they're just going to shove iron ingots down this manifold or down this belt here. They're all going to push them into this belt, and then when I move it up to the next level of the factory, which is where I'm going to have my constructors and probably my assemblers, I just know that that is all the ore. And so what I'm going to do is, since I know that this one is 2 across, so I'm going to build 1/2 of this just to kind of show you what the plan is. And then I will probably build the thing offline. And when we come back, I'll kind of show you how it looks in practice. And so we got that. that, do a quick count, more and then more. So we'll go right here. And again, what I'm doing is future-proofing. So, I mean, I have enough room for 16 more smelters over here, but the plan right now is just to get it down so that it's efficient to what I'm producing right now, which is the 480. That. For right now, I am going to put one of these down because I don't really want a chance falling off here. I'll delete it later, and much later when I've unlocked it in the awesome sink, I'll be building slope floors here. They're made out of glass, and these floors here will probably be glass. I just kind of like to have it that you can see all the activity, at least when you put it together and it's clean. So now we're going to come down here, and we know that the line on this... Wait, did I make that a merger or splitter? That's a merger. Okay, good thing I checked. Splitter. And I'm going to put that probably a little closer. Oh, that's the middle. Really? What is this? Put this facing up. There we go. Come down here. Good. So again, what I'm trying to save myself from doing is using more belts than I have to, so this is kind of a cheat when you build it that close. Not really a cheat, I mean, I guess it's efficiency, which is kind of the name of the game here. So I'm going to do that. And you'll notice that the last one in line, rather than just having it clip off and go in, again, I'm future-proofing it, because eventually we're going to have more smelters going off this way. But for right now, it doesn't make sense to do that because we don't have enough ore coming up to justify it. So now we're going to come in and hook up the bolts. Oh, damn it. Okay, yeah, I do have to build the belt in there. And then here's a little quick. Why aren't you going there? Did that get turned the wrong way? No, that's out. Why aren't you nothing there? You should be there. You're good. You're good. And honestly, this right here, connecting belts, is probably about 50% of the game. So normally you'd want these things to run right angles. I do think it looks kind of pretty if the first one is at an angle. Maybe that's just me. So now we have it that all the ore is coming down. And what I'm going to do before I turn this on is I'm actually going to double check that to make sure that this thing is filling up with ore. Now the way that this works is this is a series, and so it is 100% efficient, but it's only 100% efficient once it has enough time to go. So what happens is it fills up this smelter, and then it fills up this smelter, and then it fills up this one all the way down the line. But until this first one only needs one ore every 5 seconds or so, it's not efficient, but it is efficient later. You can also do it where you do these perfectly balanced splits where you have this coming out and there's a splitter 3 down and it splits into 3 more and all that. I just think that this looks cleaner, so this is the way that I typically build. It takes it a little longer to get running, but once it's up and running, it's fine. And actually, I might even delete this for now. Oh damn, no, that won't work because half of it is floating. Can't have floaters. Okay. You run all the way out there. Okay. Now we're gonna do the same thing on this since I was smart this time and actually built the smelter on the half. That is pretty easy to line up. So now right up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and yes, I'm an accountant that talks out loud. Former accountant, I'm not accountant anymore. Let's see. Thankfully got a very cool new job. Let's see. That. And I like doing it this way. I'll show you why in just a second. And again, same thing, the end on this one will be a merger because we're future-proofing it. And so what I will, whoop, nope, don't delete that one. Get carried away. So let's just delete down the line a little bit and we'll just swing down there. So what I'm gonna do is where this thing is, I'm gonna put a merger that's 2 up and run the belt there. And then it'll, again, we'll future-proof so that when we eventually add more smelters, it's all ready to rock. So there we go. Now we just need to connect belts. I gotta get a new chair. This thing is uncomfortable after you sit on it for like an hour. And now I'm going to do another one of those weird little slopes just to... so I can connect the power. Let me come down this way. Not that one. This one. Oh, that was right. Yep, we're just going to slide it right on through. Because we're going to be deleting all of these. Okay, we want this power over here and go to the midpoint, and now we're going to line it up underneath the power on. And I actually need to do this one more. So I'll show you why I'm doing this. So we take this one. There's where our power is. We know it's right about in the middle. Do that. Take this. Run it up. Now our power line is completely out of the way. We don't have power lines hanging out in the... although I do like the line looks of it. That's pretty. But when you have the power lines coming through the floor, it looks clean. It almost looks like these things are running by magic. So I always like doing this, and I kind of like having the belts feed the same way. So either I'll put the belts up like this, and the reason I put them up is so that you can walk under them. In probably the next level up, I'll build a little section in the middle that is, it'll have a line here and a line here, so it'll be like a half level, and I'll run the belt through there, and then I'll run the feeds up on either side of that into the machines that are above, so that it just looks a lot cleaner. And the reason none of these are running right now is because I haven't set them to iron. So they're kind of sitting there filling up with iron ore going, what do you want me to do with this? I don't know what you want me to do with this. I'm a machine. So, can I grab that? Okay. Got that. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Make sure I'm not going to walk off the edge here. And keep it up. And I'll just kind of do this half, and then I'll probably call the stream, and then I'll do some stuff offline. And then bring you back. I might do another one tomorrow, just to kind of show what it looks like when it all comes together. Ooh, nope, don't delete that one. This across. And we're going to bring this across. because eventually I am going to take the concrete line, split it in half, and shove it down into that, shove it down into the awesome sink so that we're building up constant tickets. Because some of the unlocks, like I was saying, like some of the walls, super useful. So here we go. So we've got this one is, I think I had to delete that one. We're going. Got iron ore coming out, or iron ingots coming out. Got iron ingots coming out. There we go. Love to see a plan coming together. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you're not missing much. A lot of Satisfactory is kind of doing this, is kind of doing the tedious part to make something cool happen and make it look pretty, and then kind of have that whole bit where you feel all good. So now that's coming in. We got all of these are producing, but they're not attached. So logistics, about to do. And we're going to have to connect them all to each other. This will be producing a ton of ingots for us. Oh, and very important, don't connect this one to this one, or you'll have ore in line, and the second ore hits something like a constructor, the constructor will be like, I don't know what to do with this. And it will stop up your whole line. It won't be producing anymore. And that can happen, especially when you start doing sushi lines, which I'll do later, where you have several commodities of a different type on one belt. Really popular thing to do with the awesome sink is just to feed a bunch of things onto an awesome sink, and then it's just getting a whole bunch of different commodities on it at once. The downside is that you'll do that and it'll block up your whole system. You'll kind of be like, well, wait a minute, why isn't this working? I said everything right. And it's because you've got one iron ore that is stuck like in the machine right here, and the only way to get it is to delete the whole machine and then build it back and then reattach it and everything. So yeah, you need to be a little bit careful. Oh, but this is why I build it up like this, so when it's up on these elevators you can walk through the middle of it. And one thing I might do is make this glass, just so that when you look up you see all these things feeding up, or when you're looking down from above you'll be able to see that. I usually don't do it on the actual machines themselves because it just looks weird when you're looking up at the bottom of a machine sitting above your head. But the belts, it looks a little bit elegant. Okay, and then I'm going to repeat this on the other side. So I said that we'd finish off with Caterium. So I mean, you can sort of see what the method to my madness is here. So we're going to have another level up that'll be constructors. Usually the way that I do it, each level is kind of a tier. So this is tier 1, so it's just building iron ingots. The next tier up will be building plates and rods and screws, and that'll probably be it. Like I'll have rods and plates, and then the other side will just be producing screws. And then the next level up, I'll have it producing rotors and reinforced plates and modular frames. And I believe that modular frames is the last thing in the iron node. But that's the plan on this. So let's go ahead and we'll go mine up some Caterium, and we'll see if we can actually unlock the some of the things in the Caterium node. I am going to fill this out just so that I've got it set. When I come back, depending on how long I do this today, how long Rufus and my friends will actually let me play this game, this might look a little bit different. It might have glass down it, because I do want to go unlock quartz. I'll build a little quartz factory. Probably do that offline because it's not going to be doing anything amazing. The only thing it's going to be doing is feeding stuff into the awesome sink. So, not the most exciting thing to watch. So let me see if I can take any more. No, I can't. But now I can go down, feed this into... Risk everything! Yes! See? Always have risky behavior. It always pays off, kids. I am a good role model. Okay, come down here, feed this thing, and we're just going to go mine up a bunch of Caterium. So we put all of that in there. We don't need as much concrete anymore, especially since that's producing. We don't need that. We don't need the ingots. Now we're producing ingots. Although I will hold a couple back just in case we need to build plates or something, which is totally possible. Yeah, that should be good. So let's go grab some Caterium. So another reason I like this base is it has that pure coal node, which is nice. It has just a bunch of pure nodes are just right around that little tiny valley. So it's one of the best starting locations I've been able to find. And I've done probably 6 playthroughs, I think. Because each time you build on this, you learn something new, and they have new patches, so the new patches are always kind of mix up recipes and kind of breaks things. It's almost easier to just start from scratch, to kind of be like, oh man, because what will happen is you'll get into this later, and you'll be like, oh man, I wish I had built that Caterium. This is a normal one I'm going to pull from the pure, which is... around here. But you'll build a base, and later you'll be looking at it and you'll be like, oh damn, I wish I would have put this here or that there. And then it's too many things to delete. You get to the point where it would take so long to delete everything. There's the pure node, but it's got a pig on it. Oh, and that pig saw me. Don't you see me, little pig? But it takes so long to delete it, that's just, it's not worth it. Whoa! Hello, okay. Fine. I'm gonna go down here real quick. Hopefully you get confused. Oh, this one's not that too. Oh shit, you did not get confused. Okay, I'm running away, Nope, you guys are fine, you guys are fine. Leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone. Yeah, happy little pig down there. Happy little pig down there, you don't need to eat. For whatever reason, I thought those were pure notes. They're not. Damn it, he sees me. Okay, come here, you old bastard. I don't want to kill you. Is this on the other side of the rock? Come on, pathfinding, fail. Fail. Should have crouched. I can take a hit from the pit. So if he hits me, I learned my lesson. I deserved it. Bases. So bases will get extremely complex, and you'll have something, you'll see something that someone else has done, or you'll do something on another base, and you'll be like, oh damn it, I wish I would have done that on the last base, because that would just make things so much cleaner, or it would make things more efficient. But in order to delete that entire base, you'd end up with boxes all over the place, and there's tricks around that, but it's just more effort than it's worth. But when you start fresh, you have all of that knowledge of, oh, I could just do that, and if I run this little gap right here, then it's super easy. So you kind of have to do a cost benefit of, would it be more advantageous to start from scratch? Would I actually save more time just building up through the levels and unlocking tiers than it would be to delete this entire thing, rebuild all of those things? Because you saw how long it took. Let's see, so we got up there at about an hour. Yeah, it took like about an hour and 15 minutes to delete that thing and just build 16 foundries, or smelters. You can imagine when that thing gets more complex, it's easier to start from scratch than to try to rebuild that thing. So we're going to get this up to about 200, and then I'm probably going to call it. I've noticed that YouTube, and I had heard people talk about this before, and for whatever reason I didn't realize what they meant, is that YouTube's... Utah. YouTube stream, what it'll do is when I hit the button to end the stream, it kills it about 15 to 20 seconds before I hit that button for whatever reason. So, just to make sure I get around that, you might have like a little bit of silence on the end of this one where I just kind of hold tight for about a minute and a half. We'll get this to about 200 and I'll do a couple basic unlocks on Caterium. I really want to get the Blade Runners. So next time I'll unlock the Blade Runners, show you that big base. We'll unlock Crystal, which is cool. And we'll start branching out. I'll unlock more of the copper. And maybe we'll get up to steel. We'll see. I'll do some unlocks. We'll get there. It'll be neat. For the copper base, if I have people start jumping in here and you got any suggestions for what you want this to look like, just let me know in the comments or jump in chat. And 250. Kind of like the normal ones, because the normal nodes, because they give you 2. It's easier to do that. No, just pretend I don't exist. He didn't pretend I didn't exist. He's definitely running up behind. I'll lose him on that. Maybe. We'll see. There's been a few times where I thought that I've lost the pigs, and I've been like, oh, I'm safe. I'll just start meandering around, and all of a sudden it launches me off the cliff. It's good stuff. A lot of things in this game will launch you off a cliff. It's very rude. So we've got this up here. So, yeah, I can kind of show you what this looks like from below. So you can kind of see that we're building the base up there. And so the base will kind of flow up at an angle on either side and run down the middle. I'll do some clever stuff on the edge just to kind of make it a little bit more architectural and pretty. But that's the basic idea. So we'll kind of build up and then go over the top. So we want Caterium. Oh, we have my map yet. That's what's going on. Come over to NAM. Caterium. Unlock that. It takes 3 seconds. We got that. And for this one, we probably need 50.
New recipe unlocked.
Now we need 50 of these. We can make 66. So we're going to make all 66 because we don't need the ore anymore since we unlocked the nodes. This, the one that we're about to unlock, Quickwire, really useful, but it's also a big point getter. So if I set up another awesome sink where I'm just making Caterium Quickwire and feeding that into an awesome sink, and I have the other one just feeding in Crystal, we'll build up points pretty quick in the early game. Again, you can't do all of the unlocks because it gets to the point where the only thing that's really worthwhile is to feed in things like supercomputers or turbo motors are the only thing that drop the point cost enough to really make it worth it, but every single little thing counts. So again, on this base, when we've kind of moved away from iron, we don't really need those components anymore. Those will just kind of nickel and dime to the next ticket, and eventually you end up with more tickets than you have stuff to buy, so that's kind of a good place to be. So we actually need one more. But now we've got all of those. This will cost 50. Come in Caterium, start the research, and we're good. And now it should unlock Caterium Electronics. So now we could go get more Caterium. This is kind of a cool thing that I've never really used before. It's a zip line, and so what you can do with that is basically exactly what it sounds like. You can basically zip line down the power poles, which is kind of cool. Granted, the way that I run the power, where it's all underneath, not as useful, but I can set up specific lines where I might have one that does that, where it springboards you up to one level and you can power line your way down. Might be kind of cool. So yeah, might do that. Like I said, there's a few things that are in here I just never play around with, so might start doing that. But okay, so that's the idea with the Caterium unlocks. Let me go over here to the MAM again. I believe Blade Runners are up here, but in order to do that, we need to unlock, how many do we need? So we need 100 of those, and I believe it is 2, so it's 3 of these to 1 of those. And it's 1 of these to 5 of these. Okay. So if I get another 200, we should be good. So this time I'm going to sneak past the pigs, which is something that we can actually do in this patch, which is kind of cool. We're going to sneaky past the pigs and get like 200 more Caterium. I'm going to unlock that last node, show you what Blade Runners are, and oh, hey, that's the other thing I can do is I can grab this and start the quartz.
This mineral shows purity levels akin to synthetic quartz manufactured on Earth, and can be used to improve communication and exploration technologies. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
It also unlocks glass. So that's going to be another thing I'm going to do off camera, is you can kind of see how this is working with unlocking Caterium. It's the same way with quartz, is you just go into the MAM, you research it, and then you can unlock it. And you can unlock glass, but it also unlocks, it's absolutely necessity for some of the later electronic components. Like you got to make a crystal oscillator, which is kind of a weird little thing, but yeah, the main thing I use it for in the later game is you kind of have a factory that's pumping out those crystal oscillators so you can build some of the cool electronics, but you also have it that it's pumping out just shattered quartz so that you can build all of your buildings with cool glass and everything. So yeah, it's a sickness, people. It's a sickness. I blame my upbringing. Why did I suddenly switch to a power pole? That was weird. But yeah, I'll probably do that unlock off camera too, just so that next time I'll come back, I'll show you that I've kind of built the Caterium node and I've built the quartz node and speeding into an awesome sync. And we'll build the Blade Runners and work on the copper factory. Should be pretty good time. And then we'll probably start trying to branch out and get steel, which we might need to build out the next level on the space elevator, which unfortunately it doesn't look any different when you upgrade those tiers. You're just firing things up to the station in orbit. So we're at 130. This can get zen-like sometimes, so if you're not streaming, there's a lot of things in this game that if you got nothing going on for a day and it's cold and it's rainy outside or it's snowing or no one's doing anything and you just need to kill some time, this game is very meditative. Like, you can just kind of sit there and build and build and build. It's kind of like Minecraft that way, but it's like Minecraft for adults, even though I have a lot of adult friends that play Minecraft. But it's kind of like the next level up of Minecraft. There's a lot of math to it. I've talked a few friends into getting their kids to play this game, just because the math. So we're going to get this up to 206, since it takes 3. Right there, and we're going to avoid piggies. And also, you can move faster. Oh, there's a piggy. If you slide and then jump at the end of it, you can move faster. I don't like doing that because it looks stupid, and I am all about looking cool. Obviously. Let's see, let's go over here. There is a hard drive down there. It's guarded by pigs. Get what the unlock is for it. Where's this? these low-level ones only take 3 seconds. Some of the layer ones take a lot longer. This right here, we're going to be building a lot of that because that's what you make glass. Or no, you bake it out of silicon. There's the blade run. Oh. That's weird. They put blade runners under quartz. Maybe I'm getting my lines mixed up. Blade runners used to be under Caterium, I can swear. Huh. Okay, well, we'll definitely be unlocking quartz because the blade runners are one of the most useful things you can have in the game as far as like equipment goes outside of your little chipper thing. Just allows you to move and jump and fall a lot further. You can outrun the pigs, so you don't need to worry about them anymore. You don't have to do the serpentine thing. So we're going to kick this up. It shouldn't take too long. But we're still going to unlock that next one. But one of the good things about Quickwire is that it's really resource efficient. You get a lot of stuff out of not a lot of production. So I mean, I believe it's 1 to 5. Let me check that one more time once this is done. So I mean, this one is 3 to 1. So it takes 3 of these to build 1 of these, and then it takes 1 of these to build 5 wire. So it's basically like what, 1.3 ore equals 1 quick wire. Not bad though. Not a bad trade-off, especially given how expensive it is for the points. Worth it. Did I mess on my count? I didn't think I did. So let's go ahead and we'll make a whole host of these. Because the only thing you can make from Caterium is quick wire, I believe. I don't think you mix the ore with anything. So to make iron, you mix, or to make steel, you mix coal and iron. And don't think you mix copper with anything. It'd be cool if they mixed copper and steel and gave you like, or copper and iron and made bronze. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know what you do with it, but there you go. I think it's 200 to unlock the next one, but we'll just produce it all. Like I was saying, might as well. The only thing you can produce with Caterium is quickwire, so might as well produce all the quickwire we can with all of the Caterium just to kind of get it out of the way. And then anything that's left over will feed into the awesome thing. Or we'll hang on to it because there's some things that you can tell I'm super decisive about these things. When I make up my mind, I make up my mind. Okay, here we go. We got that 25 left. 3, 22. And we should be able to do, well, we might, got 90. We might be able to do 2 locks on the Caterium tree. We'll see. I might be able to get the little zip line. Kind of neat. Unfortunately, you can't zip line up. That'd be a neat trick. Wouldn't need to worry about going over to the coal power plant. One of the other things I've got to unlock is a ladder, which you get from the awesome thing. Extremely useful. So I believe these later ones are... Okay, so that one only needs 100. So you can't get to the blade runners. No, you cannot. Interesting. There's the switch I was talking about. So that's super important. Smart Splitter is gigantic for what I want to do. What is this? Bullet guidance system. But that's crazy. Mark 3 power poles, Mark 3 power poles. Yeah, there's some cool stuff in this one. But the really big ones are, that's huge. We can't unlock that until we get, it's an AI one. Yeah, I think that's fine. You don't have enough quartz for that. Okay, well people, that looks like a pretty good place to end it. So, I'm going to say, see me next time, and then hopefully you don't see me just staring into the middle distance, or you see me just sort of say, see, and then it'll kill the feed. So I'm going to talk for a little while longer here. Let's see, we're going to feed a little bit into here, and I'm just going to kind of do the next little bit in silence, and when it ends, it ends. So see you next time.